Greetings everyone, today we are going to talk about the concept of MySQL data types and constraints. Let's see what topics we are going to cover. MySQL data types. MySQL constraints. Primary key constraint. And foreign key constraint. Okay, let's start by discussing MySQL data types. In a relational database management system, every piece of data must be assigned a specific data type. This designation determines the permissible operations that can be performed directly on the data. For example, if you store a number as an integer, you can add up those numbers easily. And whenever you create a table in the database, each column must have a name and a type assigned to it. You can check out MySQL data types categories here. Okay, let's go on to discussing MySQL constraints. In MySQL, constraints are rules defined at the time of creating a table to enforce data integrity. They ensure that data stored in the table meet certain criteria or conditions. Okay, so let's look into two different types of MySQL constraints now. A primary key is a column or a set of columns that uniquely identifies each row in a table. It ensures that each row in a table is uniquely identified and cannot contain duplicate values. Here is an example of how to define a primary key in syntax. For a clearer understanding, you might refer to this. A foreign key is a column or a set of columns in a table that establishes a link between data in two tables. It ensures referential integrity by enforcing relationships between tables. The values in the foreign key columns must match the values in the primary key columns of another table. Here is an example of defining a foreign key syntax. You can read this to gain a better idea. Okay, let's create a program. The PID column in the person table is the primary key. This means that no two people in the table can have the same PID value. Here PID is declared as the primary key for the person table by using keywords within the code. The PK_order_ID column in the TBL_order table is also a primary key. However, it is represented here separately. The FK_person_ID column in the TBL_order table is a foreign key. It references the PID column, which is the primary key of the person table. This creates a link between orders and person. It is shown separately too. Thank you.